Flix with the Hicks, where we tell you about the movies. We tell you if they're great or if they really stink. Now it's time to start the show. Yeah, now it's time to go. Guess what? It's Flix with the Hicks.
Hey folks, welcome to another episode of Flix with the Hicks. I'm Greg, this is my wife Janet, and each week we review two films that we watched this week on DVD. We review the worst movie that we saw, and we review the best movie that we saw. And this week, I got to choose the worst movie. Our worst movie of the week was Be Kind, Rewind, made in 2008. It cost $20 million to make, and it grossed $30.6 million. It's a buddy film. It stars Jack Black, Mos Def, Sigourney Weaver, Danny Glover, Melanie Diaz, and in the film, Danny Glover owns a video store called Be Kind, Rewind, and Mos Def is his employee. Mos Def's best friend is Jack Black. He comes into the store and accidentally demagnetizes all the video cassettes, so they're all erased. Mos Def goes into a panic because he thinks he's going to lose his job, and Jack Black comes up with an idea to take a homemade video camera and reproduce the films, put them back on the shelf, and rent them out again. Now, it had some really funny scenes in it. It really did. And it wasn't a bad movie. It just wasn't a really good movie. Lots of funny parts. Mos Def is fantastic in it. Mos Def's always good. He's always good. Jack Black, normally, he kind of gets on my nerves. In this film, he wasn't so bad. He actually did a pretty good job in this film. He was a, fun-loving, kind-hearted, slapstick guy. Yeah,
just like like a lot of his other movies, that type of character.
Mm-hmm. But what ends up happening is calamity kind of ensues because people start renting these homemade tapes where literally the props are made out of cardboard and they look very amateurish. The acting's not very good. It's the same people playing in each movie, and they duplicate films like, such stuff as Gone with the Wind, Star Trek, you name it. They just redid the films. Mm-hmm. And needless to say, the studios found out about it and were suing them for a copyright infringement on the films. So Danny Glover's worried he's going to lose his video store. Jack Black feels terrible about it. And Mos Def is Mos Def. So it wasn't a terrible movie. The first half of it I really enjoyed. But after that, most of the second half, it just kind of drew on and on and on. And it was the same type slapstick comedy routines over and over again. But what did you think about it, Jan?
Well, like they were doing tinfoil and doing their own costumes to duplicate these movies. And then people were requesting to be in the movies with them. And it was all VCR tapes back then. And Glover was trying to go into the DVD section, because he went into the big time stores and was thinking of going that direction. But, the community was getting involved. It got really rather ridiculous in some aspects. And Jack Black, he played that same character type attitude, which is annoying to me.
Yes.
But now I've seen him do some pretty good stuff, more serious stuff. But now the movie really wasn't all that, I didn't think. Yeah. Now, 0 to 100, what do you think?
0 to 100, I would give this film a 50, right in the middle. Not a good film, not a bad film. If it was on TV and I came across it and there was nothing else on, I could probably watch it again.
We have satellite, so that wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
I wouldn't watch it again.
Yeah, no. It wasn't, like I said, it wasn't a good film, but it was enjoyable. So, anyhow.
Parts of it, it was. But, it was, I I 0 to 100. You know, I like Lover a lot, you know, but I'll give it a 43. 43. I wasn't impressed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really wasn't. And if I did run across it on the stations, you know, starting out, I would have turned it off right away. I would have.
Okay.
I really didn't like it.
All right. So, Janet got to choose our best movie of the week. Would you like to tell us what it was?
Okay. My movie was Gone, Baby, Gone. It was good. I liked it. It was Ben Affleck's first movie produced and directed, and it was done in 2007. Casey Affleck played the main character, the young detective, along with his girlfriend, about a young little girl that was abducted in Boston. And it's all a tight-knit community. You know, they all grew up together, and, you know, so-and-so's a cop and so-and-so's a bad guy, but they all lived in the same neighborhood and everything. Well, this little girl's mom, Helena, McCreely. Well, it's all in Irish Boston area. Anyway, she was played by Amy Ryan, which got an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress for this. But she was like a druggy mom that liked to party all the time. Well, she left the house one night to party with people like across the street, and the little girl disappeared. Well, her brother Lionel was always on her case and knew she was a druggie, and
she was a mess.
She is a mess. Yeah, a mess. And Lionel's wife hired Casey Affleck and the girlfriend as detectives. They were always they were small time little personal type detectives, and they knew how to talk to people in the neighborhood that weren't so good. You know, the cops couldn't get close to people. Well, Morgan Freeman was the police chief.
Mm-hmm.
Ed Harris was a detective and was always criticizing the kids' work, you know, and how they were going about things. But it ended up, you know, twists and turns. You know, you thought it might be this person or this person, and you get really surprised with who all was involved with the abduction. And what happens between Casey Affleck and his girlfriend,
Michelle Monaghan?
Yeah, Michelle Monaghan. And it was a good flick, you guys. They spent $19 million and they grossed $34.6 million. You know, that's pretty good. Pretty good. And the whole story involved police work. There's they were looking for, what do you call it, pedophilia guy.
Yeah.
And they're trying to figure out, okay, they knew within a couple days usually that children aren't going to survive and all this. And the story was really good. And how they went about, you know, seeking out, well, could it have been this person, and could it have been this person, and catching people in lies and stuff. But the character Amy Ryan played, she's a low-life mom, and it's sad, but it was a good flick. I liked it. I liked it a lot, and I'd watch it again. Because I know I missed some things. And there was this big drug dealer that was involved. They thought that he did it. I mean, and the cops couldn't even get close to talk to half these people.
Parts of this film kind of remind me of Silence of the Lambs.
Really?
Yeah. When they went into the house.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's very, very similar to that. Right. But this was one of the best movies as far as acting that we've reviewed. There wasn't a bad actor in this. There wasn't a bad performance in this.
It's good.
This was a movie that kind of grabs you in the first 10 minutes, and you just find yourself along for the ride. And there's twists and turns in it that you don't expect. But that type of movie, usually you don't find really good acting in. And this was really well acted. So very, very good film. Very good film.
Yeah, I thought so. 0 to 100 on this one, I would say acting is really good. I'll say like 89. Because I'm ready to watch it again. We're keeping this one. Yeah.
It is a very good film. I would give it... I'd give it an 85. And you know what? I want to give it higher because of how good the acting is in this film. But I think 85 is about right. I think it's good, and I think Ben Affleck makes a better director than he does an actor.
You know what?
So.
Yeah, he did really good, and you know, kudos to him for stepping out there and doing that. And his brother's pretty good too. Yes. I've seen him in a couple things, and Michelle Monaghan I've seen in a few things. She's good, but and of course Morgan Freeman and Ed Harris. Ed Harris is great too.
They're all good in everything they're in.
Yeah. And this isn't a comedy. It's a mystery drama type thing.
Morgan Freeman is one of those people that he could play a 17-year-old surfer and he would make it believable, even at his age. He's that good. Yeah, he is.
All right, I don't know. I like this one, and the Please Rewind movie.
Be Kind Rewind.
Not. Yeah. That was that. So. Mine was that. His is that. But I mean, every week we're watching these movies, and we're picking out the best for the week or the worst for the week. We're watching a lot of movies. But I mean, in the RV, I can be in the bedroom and still be watching it. So I get to do stuff while I'm watching too, but I mean, anyway.
All right, guys, we hope you enjoyed this episode of Flix with the Hicks, and until next time, have a great day and enjoy a good film.